Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am doing a review of World War Z. Now World War Z is a game that is released on the Epic Game Store exclusively, just so that you know that. And it is basically a game that has been done over and over again. It's exactly the same as Killing Floor and Killing Floor 2. It's also exactly the same as Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And there's a bunch of other games also, like miscellaneous games or lesser known games that I could also name, but basically the two most famous and most popular games that this game is copying is Killing Floor and Left 4 Dead. So basically the question then is this game, World War Z, better than Left 4 Dead or Killing Floor? And yeah, the answer to that question is that it pretty much comes down to your preference and to how much money you have. Because Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 are like $10 now, basically. And Killing Floor, unfortunately, is still quite expensive. Killing Floor 2 costs $30, which is the same as this game. World War Z also costs $30. So, Killing Floor 2 is a much older game, but it still costs the same as this game for some unknown reason. I really don't know why. Killing Floor 2 is still so expensive, but there you go. So basically, when we're talking about money, the question really comes down to Left 4 Dead or this game, World War Z, since we're not even considering Killing Floor, since Killing Floor is so expensive. I mean, Killing Floor is the same price as this game, and this game is a brand new game, so that's why I say that the question really comes down to Left 4 Dead or World War Z. So, as I said, World War Z is basically exactly the same as both of those games. If you've played both of those games, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. You basically kill zombies in a squad-based team with 3 other guys, so the entire squad is made out of 4 guys. And you pick up weapons along the way. You have grenades and a bunch of other tactical stuff that you can employ to kill the zombies even faster. And yeah, you get the normal zombies, quote unquote normal zombies, and then you also get a few special zombies. In Left 4 Dead and Killing Floor, they have different names, like Screamer is a kind of a zombie that basically calls other zombies or makes them more powerful. You get like a bull, kind of a big ass zombie which takes a lot of shots before it is killed, which is basically the most powerful zombie because if he actually gets to you, he can pretty much kill you instantly. You also get like a kind of a toxic gas zombie where if you're close to him, he damages you, and even after you've killed him, he still damages you because he releases like a toxic kind of a gas explosion type thing. You basically get like 5 or 6 different types of zombies apart from the normal zombies, and those special zombies are just basically there to make your life a little bit more difficult and to break up the monotonous experience of just killing the quote unquote normal zombies, like waves and waves of normal zombies. So in World War Z, it is exactly like that. You fight waves and waves of zombies. In some of the game modes, you need to defend an area because there's like a gate which takes time to open, or you need to defend a special objective, anything like that. There's basically a bunch of different game modes, but all of them basically involve you killing waves and waves of zombies. Now, what makes World War Z cool is that obviously it's a brand new game, so the graphics are like really good. It's by far the best graphics game out of Left 4 Dead and Killing Floor, so that is at least one advantage that the game has. And I have to say that the game runs absolutely beautifully. It constantly uses like about 30% of my 1070 GTX, so the game runs beautifully. There's really no problems with the game. The gunplay is smooth as hell, so there's really no problems with moving around, shooting the zombies, moving from cover to cover and objectives and all of that kind of stuff. The game really runs beautifully. I really can't complain at all about either how the game runs on my PC or just the combat, you know. The gunplay is really smooth. Where you aim, that's where the gun shoots. The gunplay is really dead on, and I really have no complaints with that aspect, with the game aspect, the running around aspect, or the graphical aspect. I also really like the zombies themselves. If you've watched the movie World War Z, you will have seen in that movie the zombies almost move like water. They're like just waves and waves of zombies, and they almost flow over obstacles and cars and kind of stuff, those kind of stuff. They kind of flow through it and over it and all of that, and it's very much the same in this game. It's just really satisfying to see thousands of zombies just storming towards you, running over each other, running over cars, and you just standing there and mowing them down like fucking hundreds in the space of just a few seconds. Even when you throw a grenade or explosive, anything like that, the explosions are really satisfying because it just rips the zombies apart. So I really like that kind of aspect even more than any of the other games. This game really is satisfying to play. The sound design is also really awesome. You constantly hear the zombies, since I mean there's thousands of them around you. It's kind of like you sitting in a stadium of zombies. There's constantly the sound of zombies, and you constantly hear footsteps and the rumbling and all of that. So yeah, the game is really satisfying in that aspect to play. You can play the game solo if you really want to. The game always has 4 players, but those players can be taken over by bots. So you can either play online with 3 other people or even 2 other people, then that other spot will just be filled by a bot. So you can have 2 real players and 1 bot player. Or you can, if you really want to, play with 3 bot players. The bots are obviously not as good as a real player, but they're pretty good. They're, I would say, competent at what they're supposed to do. Obviously, they're supposed to have your back and resurrect you when you die and stuff like that. So they are pretty competent at doing that, and they're also pretty competent at killing the enemies, but obviously they are not as good as a normal player. So it would be better to play with a normal player in most aspects. Obviously, I've played a few games where the people are just absolutely useless, like either they AFK or they like throw hand grenades under you and your other teammates, or they just simply don't kill zombies fast enough. Like, the game is really easy to play, so you really have to go out of your way to suck at the game, but surprisingly enough you still get people who really are useless at the game, and in those cases, unfortunately, there's nothing that you can do. You can't kick teammates or anything like that. In fact, you can't even report teammates like that, since the game doesn't have a report feature. But honestly, that happens like maybe once out of every 20 games or so. So far, I really haven't had any problem with grievers or really idiotic players like that. So yeah, the game pretty much involves you and your squad killing enemies. The more enemies you kill, the more experience you get. At the end of the match, you basically get given a breakdown of who killed the most and what kind of weapons were used and all of that kind of stuff. How many times you have revived or been revived, stuff like that. And you then use those experience points to gain skills, because obviously there's a bunch of different classes in the game, similar to in Left 4 Dead and Killing Floor. In this game you get a gunslinger, hellraiser, slasher, medic, fixer and exterminator. So there's 6 different classes that you can get in this game. All of them are pretty much the same. I mean, there's not a huge difference. The medic gets stuff like he starts with a medic pack from the very beginning. The fixer starts with C4 at the beginning. Exterminator does more damage with Molotov cocktails and stuff like that. So you get the general idea. All of the classes just have small little differences, but overall they still kill stuff with guns. That's pretty much the same throughout all of the different classes that you can get. And there are also different difficulty levels that you can play on. Basically, there's like 4 difficulty levels, and if you play on the least difficult one, then the game is really quite easy, and if you go up to the higher difficulty levels, then you get more, I would almost call it coins. You basically get coins, and you can spend those coins on weapons in order to upgrade your weapons. And there's a bunch of different weapons in the game. There's rifles and pistols and shotguns and heavy artillery guns and stuff like that, and you basically can increase the power and the effectiveness of each one of those by increasing the level of the gun, and you do that by spending those points that you get at the end of the game. But obviously, as I said, you get more points depending on what difficulty level you play the game at. So if you play it at the highest difficulty level, then you will get significantly more points than what you would get at the lower difficulty levels. Like at the least difficulty level, you get like 50 points, but at the highest difficulty level, you get like 250. So you get like 5 times the amount of points that you do at the highest difficulty level than what you get at the lowest difficulty level. So it's really quite advantageous for you to just play at the highest difficulty level. The game isn't that much more difficult at the highest difficulty level, as long as you keep your wits about you. Basically, you can't resurrect as many times as what you can at the lowest difficulty levels, and there are a little bit more zombies, and they deal a little bit more damage, but overall the game is still pretty much the same at the highest difficulty level. You just basically should not die, since you can't resurrect yourself as many times as what you can at the lowest difficulty level. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire game. As I said, it's like point to point, and you need to defend certain points from zombies, and you need to survive, and you just basically gain levels at the end of each game. The maximum level is like I don't know, something like 30, I think. And you get a bunch of different skill points, and those skill points obviously make you a little bit more powerful each time you get a new skill point. And you can also increase the levels of your guns. You also get like traps and stuff that you can put down in order to help your defense against the zombies. Stuff like electrical panels that you can put down on the ground, and when the zombies run over it, they shock themselves to death. You also get auto turrets, which kill the zombies for you, but you have to restock the ammo in the auto turrets. You also get like just normal mounted machine guns that you can use, stuff like that. So yeah, here and there you get a little bit of advantage that you can use against the zombies, but pretty much throughout the game you're just going to be running and gunning with your normal handheld weapons. So yeah, pretty much the decision, as I said at the beginning, comes down to, is this game better than Left 4 Dead? Obviously we've already established that it's not going to be better than Killing Floor, since this game costs the same as Killing Floor. So the question is this game better than Left 4 Dead? Now, I would not say that it is much better than Left 4 Dead, but as I said, this game has pretty good graphics, definitely better than Left 4 Dead 2. It costs a lot more than Left 4 Dead 2. It costs 3 times what Left 4 Dead 2 costs, because Left 4 Dead 2 costs $10, this game costs $30, so it really just comes down to the point of do you want to spend $10 to have a very good game, or do you want to spend $30 to have a very good game with very good graphics? That's basically what it comes down to. World War Z just has much better graphics than what Left 4 Dead 2 has. Otherwise than that, it's pretty much the same game. You're gonna get a very smooth gaming experience in World War Z, exactly the same as what you're gonna get in Left 4 Dead 2. Both games are very smooth, they are very polished, they run very well on pretty much all systems, and yeah, pretty much both games are gonna give you a good experience, and you're gonna have a lot of fun killing a lot of different zombies. But yeah, World War Z is a very good game. I certainly enjoyed it, and it's really fun to just every now and then pick it up again, play a few matches when I'm bored. Each match is like probably 20 minutes or so, and it's just really satisfying to kill waves and waves of enemies, and it's just really a very satisfying experience overall. One thing that I don't like about the game is that if you die, or if your team dies, then you get no rewards, like literally no rewards. That's one thing that I don't really like about the game. I would at least like it if, like, let's say your teammates sucked, or your teammates died early on, then you still have some way of continuing playing the game. Like maybe they just reduce the zombies a little bit if it's only you that are left, or something like that. But yeah, currently if you fail the mission you get like no rewards. So if you fail at like 14 or 15 minutes into the game, then you've basically just wasted 14 or 15 minutes of your life, since you get basically no rewards. So I don't really like that, but I mean, that's life. That's pretty much just one thing that you're going to have to deal with in this game. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I like the game, it's a pretty fun game, and yeah, if you have $30 to spend over the $10 that Left 4 Dead 2 costs, then yeah, I would definitely recommend that you get this game. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Wait for us, Doc.
I've been tracking. Okay.
Oh, suck it up.